This is Dan The Beast Severn, and you're watching Outside Interference. You had better watch, otherwise I know where you live.
I'm here at WrestleCon with Dan The Beast Severn, who is here at his own table, but he's also, he was a competitor this weekend. He faced Matt Riddle at Joey Janela's Spring Break. Can you tell us a little bit about how you found out about the match and what went into preparing for it?
Well, the match, basically, how I found out is a promoter contacted me, obviously, to do this. Now, did I really know anything about Matt Riddle? No. But then, I asked a couple questions about him, knowing that he was a former MMA competitor, or maybe he's still doing a crossover back and forth, I'm not sure, but comes from the world of mixed martial arts, and started dabbling into professional wrestling, and now is basically doing, I think, a lot more professional wrestling. Not certain if he's even going back and doing any MMA, but he's, I guess, a new star that's rising quite quickly.
Now, did you take this match just because it was him with his background in MMA and breaking into wrestling now, or did you have any thoughts beforehand about, if you were going to come back for another match, what type of opponent you would want?
Well, I'd say probably the best way of saying that is that it makes it easier if I ask a couple questions and find out what his background from mixed martial arts and amateur wrestling. There are now things that can transpire between him and I that cannot transpire between a normal professional wrestler that basically just does professional type techniques. So the fans that actually came out to watch the match itself, they saw a lot of moonsaults and clotheslines and body slams, and they didn't see that kind of stuff out of our match. They actually saw some ground wrestling, which very few professional wrestlers will ever be able to show. So we saw some ground wrestling. We showed some legitimate amateur wrestling, freestyle wrestling, and Greco-Roman type of techniques there as well. So it was a blend of many different types of grappling arts that were involved in the match.
Now, he talked a little trash before the match, and he did come out on top, but it was a back-and-forth match. You almost got him to tap out right at the end there.
I had my Dragon Sleeper on him. I had that Dragon Sleeper on him at one point in time, and I thought that was going to be in, but he was able to pull out of it, so yes.
Do you think he's going to be a little quieter after this?
Well, I'll say hopefully he has found a new respect for someone like myself. Don't simply just judge a book by its cover or its age, because there's still a lot of contact and a lot of fight left in this old dog.
Now, where else can we find you? What are you doing these days besides, won't call it making a comeback, but what are you doing outside of the ring?
Honestly, probably the best thing simply to tell folks, simply go to my website at www.dansevern.com. dansevern.com has all the information for my Facebook pages, for my Twitter accounts, things of that nature. I literally have way too much to even announce, but to give you it in a nutshell, I'm an amateur wrestler, professional wrestler, cage fighter. I have a recent book that came out, The Realest Guy in the Room, which I am. I'm a pretty blunt person. You don't have to worry about where you stand with me. If you ask me, I'm going to tell you. You may or may not like my reply at the point in time, but I do a lot of different things. I teach. I do a lot of classes, a lot of seminars, clinics. Amateur wrestling, I do for mixed martial arts, submission grappling. I work with law enforcement, corrections, air marshals, border patrol, and more recently, I am the first citizen ever to be brought on base to the world's largest private security company. So I understand physical mechanics and rules of engagement.